Big day today. We're going to be fixing this rusted out firewall here. This is a rare treat, not just for you, but for me as well, because firewalls usually don't rust out this bad here in Saskatchewan. I'm gonna start out by replacing the bottom edge of this panel here, just up to about here, so that it gets some strength back into this. We don't want stuff flopping around while we're fixing the worst of it. So there's a body line or bead or whatever you want to call it on the firewall, so I'm just using a ruler and a marker to locate it. You'll see why I'm doing this later on in the video. So originally I just wanted to retain the original bead here, or body line, whatever you want to call it, and just put in a patch like so, and then across here. But then I made the mistake of starting to poke at it, and well, you can see it's completely just on the verge of total collapse all through here. Very heavily pitted all through here. Already holes here, heavily eaten up and chewed up all along here. So and because I don't have the correct size dies to replicate this bead exactly, I figured it's just easier just to replace a larger chunk of it, and cleaner than just, you know, putting in weird, you know, looking patch or multiple little patches. So that was our mentality there. Not that it makes any sense, or not that it ever will, but that's why we did that. This area is all warped here from somebody brazing in a patch. So I'm just going to try to hammer and dolly this so that I can get this to line up with the new patch panel, and we'll get that tack welded in, and then we can start reconstructing this edge here. Working on this piece here. You'll see what it's for very shortly. Putting a slight curve in there with the stretching device. Yeah, I'm just building a new flange here, so just had to stretch this so that the contour would continue on with that. So the edge of this flange here is supposed to be radiused, and rather than do it properly and just make it all in one piece and tip the edge over nicely, we're gonna resort to piracy here and just hack it out, and then glorp in a strip of metal here with the MIG welder and call it a day. Not our proudest moment here, but gets the job done, and but not showcased on highlights of greatest achievements. Oh well. And now you'll see the reason why we drew the lines on the firewall for where the old bead was located. Now we can just transfer that onto the new piece of sheet metal, and we'll have a exact layout of where it needs to be. Okay, so I just crudely jammed some screws in here to hold it in place. Just did the old hack with the fold and screw as we go. And this is already set up for a butt weld down here, so we know our height and position and everything is kind of in the right spot. And then I marked out some things of importance, like where the bead is supposed to be and just where the edges are and some stuff like that. So I guess we'll continue with this current path of discovery. Now we sauntered over to the bead roller here, and I use that term loosely. This is more of a bead musher or a bead destroyer. It's quite hilariously bad, but it's all we got, so we're going to make it work. See, the end of this is a little gibbled up. So I got this old chunk of Chevy leaf spring bushing, and we'll just give it a quick tap, and it might help or it might make it worse. The next fun little task here is this has a folded edge all the way around it. Can we all see that? So we need to somehow replicate that onto here. So I'm going to use this hardened pin with a little slot cut in it to kind of get in here, get in there, and then kind of tip it up a little at a time. And it's going to take a long time, so we'll just put you all on the old time lapse there, and we'll come back when this looks like something. And there it is, all kind of folded over there. Pretty crude, but I guess it'll suffice for a firewall. And really need to get a tipping die for the bead roller, but till then, hack method gets the job done. I had it on the first time. I did kind of scribe where it was overlapping, so now I can just cut to this scribe line through here, and then I can get it set up for a butt weld into the truck. Okay, I just got this patch tack welded in there. Just tack welded it every 1 inch or so. I'm not getting too fancy with finishing any of this out. This is all actually covered up by the inner fender, except for maybe like a little teensy piece at the top, which is covered by the hood. So to me, it's not really worth it. We're not trying to hide the fact that this is a welded up truck. I just want to make this solid again, so we're just going to weld it in as quick and fast as we can and get it done. You were all holes drilled here along the edge and along the bottom for plug welding. Here's how it looks from inside the cab. There's no more gaping hole there, so that's a bonus. Let's start welding. Just gave it a quick grind there just to kind of fill up the YouTube time quota on this video. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even bothered. You get out of the stuff what you put in. So, I mean, if I take my time welding it and fitting it and all that, it would turn out super amazing. But I just don't care. Like I said, this is all getting covered up by the fender, inner fender. So none of it's really visible. And if I was doing this as a driver, I'd probably box line this area, because otherwise it just gets beat to death with rocks and stuff being thrown up by the wheel. You can actually get that Raptor liner stuff. You can get it tinted to match the body color, so it still kind of looks original, but it doesn't get destroyed when you drive it. But I'll probably do nothing. Just put something on it to keep it from rusting and let the next guy deal with it. Some might argue that it's better than a rust hole. I did drive this truck during a rainstorm with all of this missing before, and it got quite wet inside. So should be able to avoid at least some of that problem now. Just gave the inside a quick grind too. Again, not trying to make any of this look amazing or try to hide the fact that this is a welded up pile of garbage. Just clean it up a little bit and that'll be fine for what I'm trying to achieve here, which is just trying to save an unsavable vehicle. I'll saw it up in there. Actually, that about concludes all the rust repair for the passenger side of the cab. So that's quite exciting. Door still closes, kind of fits too. That's good. I had a dream the other night there that I was doing a live stream out in the shop. I don't know why, but I was doing a live stream of opening and closing this door, and all my welds at the bottom of this post here, they all broke, and it was just flopping around, and I was trying to it was so embarrassing. Oh, it's terrible. Anyways, I just thought I'd give you a quick glimpse into the mind of Kyle. I still gotta make a whole piece along the back of this cab here. That seems like a problem for another day though. Downside is now I get to do everything all over again on the driver's side. In some ways it's better, and in other ways it's substantially worse. So it has its own specific challenges, but of course the worst part about all of this is just having to do everything that I just did all over again. So if you like rust, you won't want to miss the upcoming videos. Probably going to do just an overview, less detailed than what we did on the other side, but I don't know. As soon as I get this video edited, I'm going to just immediately dive into hacking this apart, and we'll see where we get, I guess. I don't know. Should be 1 or 2 videos coming up on that anyways. Hello again and welcome back to Carter's Hairstyling. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's episode, I just wanted to take a moment to sincerely thank everyone who sent in their previously enjoyed toupees as I requested in the last video. They were completely overwhelmed at the post office, of course, but just... Now for that sick, twisted joker who thought it'd be cute to send in a toupee made of genuine Saskatchewan sealskin bindings, well, let's just say that the Saskatchewan Sealskin Preservation Society knows where you live, so you might want to leave town for a while. I hope you found that really enlightening. Tune in next week. We're going to be discussing the pros and cons of using a cordless drill for beard grooming, featuring a special guest. Well, terrible news here. I thought I had enough content to make a video here, but I'm 5 minutes short. So my usual trick is to just monologue for 5 minutes or do 5 minutes worth of cat clips. Or even force you to watch welding in real time. But we're going to try something different, and we're going to patch up this hole here, which was for the 5-speed shifter, which this truck no longer has. I know you're all saying, well, Kyle, what happens if the next guy wants to put the 5-speed back in? Well, you know what? To heck with the next guy. What has he ever done for me? We're going to close that hole up here, and that'll give us our extra 5 minutes of content, and if not, I'll switch to cat content. Using the old dirty finger trick for making a paper template here, or what we need to patch in. Like so. Looks like this thing's already had a patch put in here. Multiple patches. This truck's been around the block. I don't know how many different engines and transmissions it's had, but oh well. The butchery continues. I just got this crudely tack welded in here. I'm not trying to do a fancy job on this. I just don't want there to be a hole here. But there's no point in spending 2 years on it because next guy's probably just gonna hack it all out again and put some kind of alien transmission in this thing. You can also see here, maybe you can't see, I don't know. Can you see? Doesn't look like it. Anyways, there's another patch. You can kind of see the weld there. Yes, there's a patch going through here that's already been welded in. So if anything goes wrong with this, we'll just blame the last guy. Actually, they did like a decent enough job where I'm not gonna like remake this whole thing just to, you know, whatever. I must have had some kind of shifter in it before, and then I had to cut this out for the 3-speed shifter, and it's just a mess. But so yeah, this is gonna, it kind of dips down here, but I didn't want to hammer and dolly this weld. It looks like it's gonna crack if I did that. So we'll just weld it, make it solid. That's all we can do. As long as there's not a hole there, I'll be satisfied with it. Just want to go on the record here that this is absolutely not the right way to weld a patch in if you want it to actually turn out nice when you're done. Round the corners, take your time, don't weld it all at once. Don't weld it into other weird patches that have been put in before. This is how you weld in a patch when you don't care and you just want the hole gone, and it's like 9 o'clock at night and you gotta get a video up for the next day, and but you don't have enough content yet. So I guess the moral of the story is stay in school and don't do YouTube. Sure. Anyways, I did get my extra 5 minutes of video here, possibly a little bit more. So mission success, and because it's already pretty late, I'm not going to fire up the grinder and wake the neighbors up or whatever. I'll try not to be too much of a degenerate, at least today. So Plus, it's not like it's grinding, it's going to make it look any better, but just so, you know, the carpet or sound editor will sit on it, or I don't care. This is done. Good enough. On to the next problem. Tune in next time for more rust. Just wanted to say thanks everyone for watching, and I got to get hustling on this truck. We got probably only a couple weeks here before the snow hits, and we really got to get this thing out of here. I'm sick of working on it, and I got other stuff I want to work on. Huge shout out to all the patrons of the show and all the people sending in donations. I sure do appreciate that. It really helps me out with making these videos for you all. And thanks to everyone else who's been watching these videos and commenting on them and liking them and disliking them and unsubscribing and whatever you want to do. It all kind of helps me out in the grand scheme of things, and motivates me and helps me to keep doing this stuff. All right, we'll see you next time with more rust repair.